If you're Nick Shell, you get these comments daily on your hair loss videos. Here's one: why don't you do hairline enhancing transplant? And then I've got another person asking me, what do I think about micropigmentation? I mean, these comments come in all day long, every day. So I need to make a video to address that. And that is, and I actually wrote, what is the title of this video? I wrote it down before I even made the video. I'm calling this video, why should I care about my receding hairline? Okay, I guess that's what this video is going to be called. Why should I care about my receding hairline? So demographically, there will always be people who watch my videos in hopes that I'm going to provide salvation, that I'm going to provide the cure for hair loss, and that by demonstrating on myself and showing how bad my hair loss is, despite people's perception of that, I will then reverse it and everyone will be saved and will now not have to go bald, right? But ultimately, going back to the name of this video, why should I care about my receding hairline? I don't have an incentive, personally. I mean, people ask me, why don't you do this and this and this? I mean, the ultimate reason is, if you were me, would you? I mean, I guess that's probably the better video title of this. If you were me, would you try to stop your hair loss? Would you care? If you were me. And there's many reasons why we have to look at me, the individual person, and not my audience in this situation. If you were me, why would you care about your hair loss? Let's get rid of the obvious stuff right away. I am approaching my 20th year class reunion from high school. By default, that means I'm closer to 40, whereas a lot of you are closer to 20. Okay? So I'm a lot older than you. I'm married, I have 2 kids, I have a job, I have a house, my life is settled. I'm happy with what I have. I'm very grateful for all I have in my life. I've worked hard for it, no doubt, but I'm very fortunate and thankful for all that I have. When you have all the things that I have, including the fact that I'm older in life, can you imagine perhaps that a guy like me wouldn't care if he goes bald tomorrow? A guy who made most of his side money from this channel on YouTube last year from selling the Remington razor to shave off my hair. I actually see myself as probably more valuable if I don't have hair, but I also have to cater to both sides. So sometimes it makes sense to shave off my hair, sometimes it makes sense to grow it out, and right now I'm still in the process of planning to grow out my hair and kind of see how long I can get it without it looking bad. But if you were me, why would you care about hair? I mean, sure, I could get a hair transplant, and then from now on, I'm the hair transplant guy. But see, that's not my identity. My identity is the opposite of that. So people keep asking me, why don't you do these things? Why don't you try these things? And ultimately, I just don't have a motive. I don't have one motive of why. I mean, we could always say, well, yeah, if you get a hair transplant, you will increase your viewers, and more people will like you, and more people will watch you. There's already a guy that does that. Isn't his name Hairliciously? I mean, there's a guy for everything in the world of hair loss YouTubers. And I'm the only one that says, but if you just mentally and psychologically get over your hair loss, you don't have to say, but what about this and what about this? So there's that concept of it, which translates to my younger viewers, because that's the takeaway for me. That even if I didn't have all the things that I have, as long as I have the thing in my mind that, wait a minute, there's lots of young, bald, confident guys out there that have less to worry about because they don't have to worry about losing their hair, and it advances them in maturity and probably makes them more attractive in the ways that actually matter for those who embrace it. So it completely goes against my identity. I'm completely not motivated to try to keep my hair. And I lived my whole life thinking I would be bald by the time I was 33. And now here I am I'm almost 38 now. There's just no incentive for me personally to do it. I mean, we could say, okay, well, I'd make more money as a YouTuber if I got a hair transplant. Yeah, but I mean, I already make enough money doing what I do full time in HR that even if I made a couple more $1,000s a year because of that, it wouldn't be worth it for me to alter. To me, that's a body modification. Like there's people who get the, the plugs in their ears and they modify their body or get lots of tattoos. Like for me, getting a hair transplant would be modifying my body, and that's an extreme thing for me. Or micropigmentation or Rogaine. That's taking science into my body when I don't actually have a physical ailment. Using drugs to stop or prevent hair loss. Hair loss is a cosmetic issue. So to use drugs for a cosmetic issue, I'm just not interested. I don't use drugs. I don't use it. I have any prescriptions or anything like that. So the thought of money for some cosmetic, there's not one incentive I can think of that I actually care enough about why I'd have to fundamentally want to keep my hair. And I don't. I'm not trying to be Paul Rudd, And granted, I said, hey, I might try to grow out my hair a little bit longer like him in that movie This Is 40. But I'm not trying to be Paul Rudd. He's in his 50s, and he's slim, and he's cut, and he's got everything perfect, and his hair's perfect, and everything's perfect about Paul Rudd. Well, he already looks better than me, and he's in his 50s. I'm not competing with movie stars or any kind of models that are put in front of me. There's just no incentive for me to want to do any of these things. Granted, BRB, yeah, it's free shampoo that I get for a year with it's all natural and herbal. So yeah, I'll take free shampoo. I'll talk about it if that'll help us have a better discussion about hair loss. And I don't mind experimenting with myself. No. I don't mind experimenting on myself. I'm going to just end this video now. I can't recover from it.